All right, so one guy who actually helped, and I mentioned him top of the broadcast, is Glenn Beck. So he runs an outfit called the Nazarene Fund. It's a charity that helps Christians all over the world who are persecuted. So Beck was over in the Middle East. I talked to him on Friday on his radio show. He was in an undisclosed location. And he joins us now from a disclosed location in northern Texas. All right, so Beck, tell us what you did over there, and if you can, where you were and all that.
I can't tell you where we were. First, let me make a correction. We don't just save persecuted Christians. We save persecuted minorities. The press is trying to smear us that we're only saving Christians. First of all, not true. Second of all, the Nazarene Fund was originally set up. The first group we went after were the Yazidis that we tried to get out, and we did get out of Syria and Iraq. And we have moved non-Christians as well in this. We were just trying to help, and we put together a coalition, or we're part of a coalition, I should say, the Save Our Allies Coalition, which includes the Mighty Oaks Foundation and others, and we got as many people as we can. The total number, and this is an exclusive for you, the total number of the 8 days of lifts, and we're not done yet, the first 8 days between Save Our Allies Coalition and the Nazarene Fund was 8,911 that were moved directly from the Kabul airport to an undisclosed location. We are also relocating the first group of 2,000 refugees now to Albania. That brings our total up to about 12,000 refugees saved. And we go through a seven point. Go ahead.
I understand Beck listeners donated about $32 million for this effort. Is that true? That's amazing.
It was amazing. It was amazing. And, you know, one of the bigger donations, Bill, was yours, but it came in tens, 20s, hundreds. It is an amazing effort. I don't know, and you said this to me, I don't know of another radio show audience that has ever done anything like this. We didn't get any press on it. We're not looking for press. We're just trying to do the right thing, and this audience responded like nobody's business. $32 million.
Yeah, the press doesn't want to say anything good about you or me or anybody who isn't woke, and we know the corruption that exists. Now, you had to coordinate some of this, I would think, with American authorities, you know, the State Department. Tell us about that.
Because we're in continuing operations, there could be a book, and gee, there might be one, Killing the State Department. The State Department was the biggest obstacle for anyone who was trying to move refugees. Quite honestly, they have blood on their hands. I know of 400 that were inside of the gates that Save Our Allies Coalition brought in, had inside the gates. The State Department bitched about it. They were all there legitimately. Everybody had been vetted. They bitched about it because they were, quote, in the way. They were kicked out of the Abbey Gate. And unfortunately, we told them, stay close to the gate because this is going to be reversed. Before it was reversed, that was the gate that was bombed. And we don't know how many were lost, but a good number of them, I'm guessing, were lost.
Oh, my God. So it's bureaucracy once again, apathy on the part of the State Department? How would you describe it?
We've talked about this a lot, Bill, and it's beyond apathy. They were actually obstructing, in many cases obstructing. They would give us permission to land the plane and revoke it at the last minute. They gave us what are called Dept clearances. I don't even understand what all of it is, but Dept clearances, it allows you to land the plane, come back, and get out. That is quite a process with this State Department. They would make us wait for Dept clearances and then give it to us an hour after they expired. How is that even possible? They are incompetent at best evil at worst. Many of the people working in the coalition have said, separate from us, that they were the biggest obstruction in Afghanistan. That and the White House. And the White House was coordinating directly with the State Department. It's shameful, shameful, and they have blood on their hands.
Now, do you think this is low-level people inside the State Department and the White House, or is this at the top with Blinken, the Secretary of State, and Biden?
I don't know. He was at the Hamptons, Bill. I mean,
Blinken.
You weren't running the State Department and you had your scheduled vacation. He is running the State Department and he takes his scheduled vacation? What? That's insanity. It's insanity what's going on. It could be low-level people. There was enough incompetence, absolute incompetence, that a lot of it can be blamed on that. However, not all of it can be. The higher levels were obstructing. We had an ambassador called in Albania. We were getting ready to move a flight of people to Albania. The ambassador was called by the U.S. State Department and told not to take any of those refugees. Why?
Why is that their business? That's not their business, is it? They're not U.S. citizens.
It's a weird thing, and I don't really understand it, Bill. It's a weird thing because we had, quite honestly, I shouldn't say, we had very many Western countries that were ready to take these people. And because the State Department started to say, don't take these planes, don't take these refugees, that leads these countries to believe that they're not vetted. And I guarantee you our people were more vetted than anybody that got onto a military plane. I can guarantee you. They tried to stuff people onto our planes and we took them, but quickly marched them back over to the State Department people so they were not confused with ours. Our planes were taken off and we said, we can't take anybody without papers. We don't know who these people are. We can't do it. Put them on the plane or you're grounded. Okay.
It's an amazing, but it really isn't when you think about the big picture, when you have a president of the United States who's basically checked out. And that is what I believe. Do you, this is an important question. If you read my column, and I know you follow me.
I do.
He's checked out.
By the way, I'm sick of people saying that they miss you on TV. I'm watching you on TV, just a new way of TV. And
but that's a whole other thing, and they're addicted to the cable. But look, he's checked out, and he's not going to check back in. All right, so he's gone. It's almost like an apparition. I mean, who checks his watch when coffins are going by you, that you're there, your own people, you're the commander-in-chief? Who checks the watch?
I think you always show his schedule. It's usually not that busy. It's not like,
it's every day. He's got one or two things, right?
Land airplanes of refugees into it. Here's the thing, Bill. When you go over the number of Black Hawks, we left 33 Black Hawks. We left almost 70,000 machine guns. We left Humvees. We left armored personnel carriers. We left C-141 transport planes. And they're in the hands of the Taliban. I'm sorry, but the first priority should have been, if they're abandoned, take a drone and blow those things up. We've just armed the Taliban with Black Hawk helicopters.
It is a staggering piece of history. Because I was going back on the radio today, on my radio broadcast, and I said, in my lifetime, Vietnam, giant screw up. I mean, talk about nobody in charge and lying to the American people, and the poor draftees and military are caught there, and they're not even fighting the war to win. All right, and everybody knows that's documented. So that's number one. Number two, Jimmy Carter at the hostages, where Iran humiliates the United States of America. That was the end of Jimmy Carter, right there. And remember, the day that Reagan was sworn in, the Iranians released those hostages, the very day, because they knew that Reagan was going to punish them. And now this is the third in my lifetime, the third. Now, Biden is never going to escape this shadow, as much as a corrupt corporate media is going to try to divert attention away. He'll never escape the shadow. So in a perverse way, Beck, this might be a good thing for the country because it just knocks him and his whole crew out of any credibility box. Or am I wrong?
No, I don't know anymore, Bill. I can't predict the American people. I would think so, but how long are we going to remember this? And the other side of it is Kamala Harris.
No, I know, but leave her aside for now, all right?
Okay.
If you have a president this diminished, this delusional, I would say anybody would be better.
I will say this, Bill. I will say at least he wouldn't be a scapegoat for what's really going on. I mean, he's not running his presidency, so
no.
Who is?
I don't know.
You know, he may have run this one because it looks like it was run by somebody with dementia.
Susan Rice, I would
like somebody accountable because these people are not going to hold anybody accountable. But it's interesting, Bill, that in the last days of the Trump administration, they made it easier. The Democrats made it easier to remove the president in diminished capacity.
Sure.
Well,
they're not going to remove him, though. That's not going to happen. What will happen is there'll be an overwhelming landslide for the Republicans in the midterms, I predict. All right, and then all hell could break loose on Biden. Unfortunately, tech difficulties, and we lost Beck. But the Nazarene Fund, as he mentioned, I did give a donation to it because I think it's very worthy, and you can reach them. It's very simple. The Nazarene Fund, one word, .org. TheNazareneFund.org. And this is an ongoing concern. It's not going to end tomorrow with the Americans pulling out of Afghanistan. Beck and the charity are helping people all over the world who are being persecuted. That's what it comes down to. Hey, I'm sure you've noticed that everything is getting more expensive. And with all this printing money and spending by the progressives, I'm concerned the dollar's end could be near. If the government continues this way, the dollar could freefall and lose its coveted role as the world's reserve currency. That's why there's never been a more important time to consider gold and silver to protect you and your family. And American Hartford Gold is the only company I'm happy to put my name behind. I have done business with them myself. It just takes a quick phone call and they'll have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your IRA. Plus, tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they'll give you up to $2,500 of free silver on your first order. So please don't wait. Call 866-501-5201, 866-501-5201, or text BILL to 65532. Again, 866-501-5201, or text BILL to 65532. Bill O'Reilly here. Thank you for watching this video, and make sure you subscribe to the First TV YouTube page. Just hit the big red subscribe button below, and you'll get clips and highlights of my program, The No Spin News, every single day. We'll see you soon.